This is the Cheers
podcast. Yes.
Cheers to the podcast. This has been a long time in the making. We've been talking about it
For years, bro. For years.
We've been talking about it for years. Because that we're like finally actually making it happen now.
Bro, this was your idea. Like, what are you what made you want to do the podcast?
Yeah, man. I just, it's podcasting is it's a platform that's like just any podcast in general. Those platforms are just popping off now, man. So you just gotta go where the attention goes all the time.
Right.
But to kind of start out, we're basically, this is just kind of a pilot run for Exotic Auto Trade, and we're going to dive a little deep into some ideas that we have. The main core of this one that we decided to do is basically just talk about the car business. We've been in the car business for a long time. I've been in the car business for like 13, 14 plus years now. We'll dive into DeAndre. This is DeAndre Holton. So my name is Rohail Siddiqui. I go by Ro for short. But, dude, kick us off, bro. I mean, tell me a little bit about how you got into the car business. Like, let's start off there. And where you from originally?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so like you said, my name is DeAndre. I'm from Cleveland, Ohio. Now based in Atlanta with this fool. Started in the car business in Cleveland at a used car lot. I won't say the lot's name because I don't want to get anybody in trouble, but started the car business. I was selling I want to say it was like a Honda CRV or a Toyota RAV4 or something like that. My first car I ever sold. And customer, it was an internet lead. No, actually it was a phone call. Customer was coming in to look at the car let's say 3 p.m. And he was asking about some maintenance questions. And
the first car.
It's the first car I ever sold, right? First car I ever sold. This is jacked up. You might have to cut this part out.
Why?
So when we went, before the customer was here, I came to the guy and said, hey, this guy wants the service records. He's coming to look at the car. Can you show me where the service records are? And we went to this back room. It was at a used car, like a buy here, pay here lot.
What kind of car was it?
It was a Honda CRV.
So you sell like the maintenance records on a Honda CRV?
Correct.
All right.
But here's the thing, it's not crazy. So even though this is 10 years ago, like we had a file cabinet where all the records, right? So we came back.
Were they like real records or just like?
That's the thing. So it's something messed up with the car. It was like something like the struts of the car was like need to be replaced. It was a lot of stuff that was recommended to be replaced. The guy like shoves the stuff back in the folder and closes it. Don't show him the records.
The like manager of the dealer?
Correct. So this typical like shady car business type shit,
Buy your pay your lot.
Correct. Buy your pay your lot. So a little bit different standards.
Okay.
So long story short, we just got away with showing him the Carfax. And then the Carfax actually showed that we did like an oil change and like some basic shit on it. So he ended up rolling with it and then we delivered the car. But it was just like my first deal.
Wait. Y'all ended up rolling with it. He ended up buying the car even though it was like jacked up.
I mean, it's just he looked at the Carfax and said the oil was changed, and we just did the basic stuff. It was like a $10,000 car. Bro.
Okay.
And this is like 2014. That car I think was like a 2010 or something like that. So it was like 4 years old.
All right.
And we just rolled with it.
Okay.
And they bought the car. That was my first deal. But the thing is, I like the latter.
So what are some lessons you learned from that one?
I left shortly after. I thought it was shady as fuck. So I didn't sell any more cars from there. And I went to Chevy after that. And then I was successful at Chevy. I had a great mentor. I was selling, 15 cars a month. Had a great mentor. And he was like a mentor / he was a DJ as well. And he was like always hyping everybody up. When the customers came out, he was like just had everybody fired up. So after that, I went to Chevy. And then Chevy, I left and I went to Toyota from there. And I was, selling 15, 20 cars there. And then transferred to the Toyota here in Atlanta. Same thing. And then that's why I finally met you at Audi in 2017. Started off in sales. It was my first time being in luxury sales. I was selling, 15, 20 cars a month there. Eventually got into F&I. And now I'm here.
Yeah, man. When I first got to Audi, DeAndre was actually the one that kind of showed me around, showed me the ropes a bit, showed me where we fill up gas, how to use the gas card. I remember all that.
I showed you that?
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, you showed me how to.
They gave me a lot of all the people that just like started. I like helped them like show them around the dealership and shit. No one else will help.
Yeah. I No, that's cool, bro. The Chevy stores and like Toyota stores, their volume, right? So
100%.
So, 15, 20 for being like relatively new, that's good. I know guys that are, not to like put you down or whatever. I'm just saying that I know guys that that have experience and like that they're doing like 20, 30 cars.
100%. Easy.
But bro, that is a grind, dude.
Bro, grind.
And you better hope and pray that your dealership is too.
It's true.
You'll miss opportunities. You basically live there.
100%.
My story's a little bit different, man. I started off at a pre-owned like luxury dealer that started there.
Like high end stuff or like
no, not super high end, like
Okay.
just like mid-level luxury. They even had like this good stuff, but they had mid-level luxury. A lot of people, if I'm talking about it, if you're from Atlanta, you probably know what dealership I'm talking about. But no, wait, let me back up. So I was 15 years old when I first started in the car business. Well, actually, let me back it up a little bit further. All right. So y'all all remember the 350Z, Nissan 350Z when it came out.
Mm-hmm.
So my dad had a 300ZX that my brother and I, like family, we all loved it.
Mm-hmm.
It was the 2x2. So those don't have like the twin turbo like the 2-seater ones do.
Mm-hmm.
But you take the T-tops off. Like my dad was like he was the man when he had that car, like back in the early 2000s, like mid 90s. That
Was that your first car?
no,
Oh, okay.
no, not my first car.
Okay.
I was like, I don't know, 10.
Okay.
But he had a 300ZX, so we fell in love with like the Z lineup, right?
Mm-hmm.
And dude, when I was a kid, I used to watch like Car and Driver all the time, and they dropped the 350Z,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, one day, dude, my mom and my brother were going to stay over at my aunt's house,
Mm-hmm.
and I saw that as an opportunity. Like, well, it wasn't like sneaky like that. I was just like, Dad, can we go see the 350Z? Like, it just came out at the dealership, blah blah blah. He was like, so we ate dinner. My brother and my mom like went to my aunt's house. My dad and I went there, and I just like, dude, I consider that my first car deal.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was at the dealership and I was just like, my dad saw how excited and passionate I was about that car and like so excited to see it. There was, I forgot the name of the orange color, but it was an orange one that was in the showroom, but there was also a red one.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like drooling over it. And dude, on the back, like behind the scenes, obviously a salesman approached us. It was late at night too.
Mm-hmm.
Salesman approached us. Like in the background, my dad was talking to this guy, right? Like about the car, the numbers and stuff like that. I had no idea.
Mm-hmm.
And mind you, like I'm the one that hyped him up, but like, salesman did his thing too, right? So this was at a Sutherland Nissan by Mall of Georgia.
Which is still open.
I grew up in Hamilton Mill area.
Which is still open too, right?
Yeah. They're still there. They're still there. So after some hours, bro, like my dad comes up to me, he's like, hey, Rahel, what do you think about that red 350Z there? I'm like, oh my God, it's like the coolest one here, whatever I said. And he was like, how would you feel if we took it home?
Uh-huh.
And I was like, my jaw dropped to the floor. I got chills like talking about it right now.
Uh-huh.
And my jaw dropped to the floor, like, are you serious? I started freaking out and stuff like that. And he was like, yeah, that thing is ours now.
Uh-huh.
So we had like one of the first 350Zs in Gwinnett County.
Okay.
We ended up, like, long story short, it was a manual too, and it didn't have the navigation system. Like, it wasn't like the fully loaded one.
Mm-hmm.
One day, my mom was trying to take one of our neighbors to lunch and take the car, and she sat in it, and she was like, I can't drive this thing, it's manual. And then it led to some other things. Like, my mom was like, if we're going to spend this money, we might as well get the fully loaded one, blah, blah, blah. So we traded that one in, got a Silverstone silver one with fully loaded, like automatic with navigation, all that stuff. And then my brother and I fought over that car a lot. So then we got the G35 Coupe, which was like the same exact car with 4 seats.
Okay.
Ended up getting a red one. But anyways, that was like my first car deal. But I was 15 years old, and a friend of mine knew the owner of a dealership called Gwinnett Suzuki.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you know how like some dealers use the Suzuki name for like good financing, but they carry like BMW.
Correct. So after that,
So my very first car that I sold as a salesman was a BMW 335i convertible. It was like champagne color with like beige interior. Guy came in, bought that car, and
Was it an older guy?
yeah, like a little bit older,
like man, champagne with beige interior.
yeah, I think it was like 40s.
And champagne back then was like damn near gold.
Yeah, and this was like the twin turbo, the twin turbo 335s.
Okay.
But anyways, dude, so then I went to that one dealership where there was like a lot more cars and something like that. But dude, that dealership was like, to me, it was shady. I still have relationships with some of the guys that I sold with over there that those guys are good for.
Yeah.
But yeah, that dealership was just shady, and like I just didn't like the way things rolled there. I sold a 7 Series to a guy in Alabama, and when he got the car, like smoke was coming out of it. Like, which is like, okay, if you're buying a 7 Series, you're kind of signing up. There's a lot of maintenance stuff that goes on with 7 Series.
Yeah.
But that was kind of like my cue, bro. And man, I dropped out of college, like years went by, and one of my buddies, like he posted a status on Facebook saying he needs a third roommate in California. So I packed up my entire car, drove across the U.S. to California. We didn't even have an apartment lined up or anything. We were couch surfing at his buddy's place. And I locked us down an apartment in like 2-3 days.
What just in California?
Initially, I landed in Santa Monica.
Santa Monica. Okay.
Yeah. Santa Monica.
I was in like not West Hollywood, North Hollywood for like 2 weeks.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I moved out there with my girlfriend at the time, and my best friend at the time. I moved out there. She was going to the Art Institute of North Hollywood, which is now closed, and we moved down there in a 1998 Buick Regal from Cleveland, Ohio.
From Cleveland?
Bro, that
in a Buick?
rolling.
Bro, my trip to California was crazy. I couldn't sleep that night. It was like 4 a.m. I was like, screw it. I'm gonna just start driving. I would be like an hour in. I'm like dozing off. I fell off on the side of the road and like took a nap for like an hour. Tried driving again, still dozed off. Pulled over at a McDonald's and then dozed off. And then I was good till like Dallas. Stayed at my cousin's place, but they had this ice storm. It was crazy. But I don't want to go too deep into that. But anyways, then I got a job at a dealership called Eurocar in Orange County.
Okay.
Because I just like begged the owner. I was so like anxious. Like I'd seen Eurocar on like eBay Motors. They're sick pictures that they used to take, even back in the day.
Bro, that just brings up another thing too. Okay, when I was in California before I left, again, I told you we moved there, right? Yeah. So literally, I was supposed to actually start working at a Toyota dealership out there, and I found on Craigslist.
The job?
Yes.
Yeah.
I was at the mall interviewing for like DSW, for like a mall jobs. I was trying to find like any job to work at.
Yeah, I worked at LA Fitness in Beverly Hills.
Bro, so I was on Craigslist looking for a job when I found this car dealership, Toyota. It was advertising like $5 to 10 grand a month. You can make $5 to 10 grand a month selling cars? What?
Yeah.
Bro, the guy called me, but then we ended up moving back. I ended up moving back like the next day. Me and my girlfriend were breaking up, and I was like, I'm out of here. I'm at least
over it.
Out of it. I'm out of here.
Yeah. Yeah, and I was like,
supposed to be in California, in LA, probably still to this moment, selling Toyota.
Yeah. No, and like when I was at Eurocar, man, I was just like begging them. I was like, dude, just let me take any position. I just want to get in there. And that's the kind of grit that you have to have, bro. Like sometimes like the reason why I wanted to move to California is because I wanted to sell more like luxury and exotic stuff. So I just felt like I needed to go to more fertile ground. I've always dreamed of living in California. So I was like, I'm going to do it. But yeah, I was like the sales assistant, essentially like an intern for the sales manager, kind of. He's just like the most senior guy that has been there the longest time. Bro, I learned so much through that experience, and like I was not humble at all. Like I thought I could do everything. Like I thought I could sell all these cars, and what they had me do was call all of that sales manager's clients over like the past 10 years.
Right.
But I still ended up consummating like 7 or 8 different deals. Like some were consignments, some were like trade-ins, some were like outright purchases and stuff. And that was just it was the first time I went to the auction. Like I went to Manheim Riverside, which is like where they sell a lot of high line like exotic stuff. And dude, it was just like a dream almost. But they didn't pay me much, and like I was like they told me that once you go through this list, we'll see if you're like good enough to start getting leads.
Right.
And I went through the whole list, and I guess like the owners just thought that I wasn't ready for that. So he was like, run it through again. And then in my head, I was just being cocky, like, dude, I'm ready. Like,
You sound like my older sister.
yeah,
You know what I'm thinking about?
yeah, yeah,
I don't need him. I don't need him. I can do this by myself.
yeah,
I'm helping him.
yeah. No, but yeah,
And then you quit. You went somewhere else.
I quit, came back to Atlanta for a little bit. I was also in.
Wait, why did you decide to move back though?
Well, so a really good friend of mine and my brother were getting married. So I was like, all right, like this isn't really working out here. Like they're getting married, like kind of close to each other, like about a month apart. So I'm just going to come back and chill in Atlanta. I was also in a relationship at the time, and like I ended up moving.
She was here or there?
Chicago.
Chicago.
That's how I ended up in Chicago.
Oh wait, so you went to Chicago, then LA, now you're back here, or how did
Yeah, no,
LA first?
Atlanta for like a very short stint of time.
Came back
And I were like talking, and like I moved to Chicago.
to be with her.
Basically, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
How long were you in Chicago?
So I was like giving it like a test drive kind of. I mean, I was gonna stay there as long as we kind of wanted to. I mean, I didn't really have like a end goal, but like I ended up staying in Chicago for 4 years. I
was in LA for 2 weeks. I got the out of there.
Really? Yeah. I mean, dude, so the biggest advice that I got from the sales manager, like I learned a lot from him, but one of the things that he told me before I left was like, Ro, like they used to call me Sid because that was my nickname, like the first 3 letters of my last name, Sid. So they called me Sid, but he was like, you need to work at like a franchise.
100%.
And for anybody that's watching that's like looking to get into the car business, like
100%.
I would probably give you that same exact advice. You could probably learn some grit and stuff from working at like a used car dealer.
Yeah.
Because like that second dealership I told you all about that I went to here in Atlanta after going into Suzuki, it was kind of like he showed me around a little bit, and he was like, there's your phone, there's your desk, there's your laptop. Like when that phone rings, sell a damn car. And that was my experience, bro. I still sold like 10, 12 cars a month.
Right.
Not knowing anything. I just knew cars, and that's it, right? But that would be my like advice too. And you can tell me like what your thoughts are.
And then also there's nothing wrong with starting at a used car lot. Like all the used car lots are like not shady. Right. They're not like shady.
And I think the other
it's just they're pre-owned cars. So it's like, yeah, at a certain point you gotta be like, this is pre-owned, okay? Like, we're going to make it look as best as we can. We're going to buff it. We're going to detail it. We're going to do, your oil change, filter change, and also try to have the tires and brakes, above 50%, which is the legal limit, but it's a pre-owned car. It's not going to be perfect.
Yeah, 100%. And I mean, dude, if you can get your foot in the door at a franchise store, I would say do that, because those guys have some like corporate structures and stuff and proper training processes, systems. But it's like going to a used car dealership is like diving in the deep end, not knowing how to swim. You know what I'm saying? If
you don't know anything about the car business and you're starting in pre-owned, you're going to be like, this is sleazy car salesman.
Yeah. And honestly, dude, like, if I had to start over again, so let me tell you this, that guy was like, go to a franchise store. So when I went to Chicago, that was the first time I sold at Audi.
Oh, so you went in to Audi.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so this is a good part too, because it's like you started off at luxury. People don't start off at luxury. You usually have to work your way up to luxury.
Yeah.
Like I started off at Chevy, Toyota, and then like I was on the phone with, my GM at the time for like 45 minutes on the phone. And the only reason why they called me for the interview is because they saw me post a video on YouTube about a fucking house that I had saw.
Okay.
So like that's the only reason why they actually called me. I applied, of course. And then she searched my name on Google. It's just 2017. And she called me off because she saw me on YouTube and shown initiative to like market myself and be, market like sales. Correct. So you don't usually start in luxury. So like, how did you start off in luxury?
Bro, I think just because like I already had so much kind of like knowledge about luxury, and I showed my passion for it. I showed my knowledge a little bit, and that kind of got my foot in the door. I mean, you mean like with a franchise store?
No, like when you first start off, it's like it's kind of like luckily get into like a high-end luxury store out in this picture. You don't start in luxury because it's like they usually say like when you start at luxury, now you need to have a book of business.
That's what they say, bro, but that's not true because think about it this way. Like if you go to a used car luxury dealership, as long as you show some grit and like determination and ambition and that you're hungry for it, they'll let you in, bro. But it just depends on, it just depends. Like I told you, I started Gwyneth Suzuki, which is just like the Gwyneth Suzuki, like it's a Suzuki dealership, but I had those cars, right? And all I cared about. But that's how I kind of got it. I mean, I just had that passion for it, bro. Like I had that knowledge already, right? But when I went to that Audi dealership, in Chicago, the general sales manager, he happened to be Pakistani, and I think like he saw my determination and grit and stuff. But he actually threw out because that franchise group had a Honda store across the street. He was like, I don't know if we want to bring you in at Audi or not. Like, would you want to go to Honda across the street first? And I was like, no. I said, no, I wouldn't do that. And I think because of that,
could have challenged him. I said no.
Well, I think he probably respected it. Like he knew I was certain that I wanted to be at Audi. And my first car was an Audi A4. So like I had an Audi A4 1.8 turbo ultra sport package. It was like Caribbean blue with black interior, manual. Freaking love that car. Drove it to the ground. The real ones that know me from like growing up, like they know that. But anyways, yeah, bro, I sold there. I was doing like 12, 15 cars a month, probably more. But I was making like real money there for the first time, bro.
Right. No like, college degree.
No college degree.
Jumped in, was just making money.
Yeah, and then some other stuff happened, but I ended up getting into like leasing luxury apartments. One of my clients that came in like told me about the opportunity and it sounded really good, and I had that shiny object syndrome, and like I went and did it and left Audi. I wish I didn't leave.
Did you go get your real estate license to do this, or?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I had to get my real estate license to do that. But it was just like leasing luxury apartments, and that was just a shit show. Like it was not what it was all made out to be, type of thing. And
did you make some money?
I made some money, but you had to like chase your money, like after you even did a deal. So it was just a lot. But yeah, I love Chicago. I even sold at a Porsche store for a short stint of time while I was there. There was two other dealerships I worked at. One client of mine he was like the owner of a proprietary trading firm. He earned a lot, like I earned a lot of respect from him because I told him from the very beginning of like buying this A7 that we're going to be firm on the price. And the reason why I was so like determined to stick to that price is because the used car manager at the time was like, if you guys sell it at this price, you'll get an extra $2,000 commission.
Oh, damn.
So this guy tried like negotiating with me and stuff, and I just stayed firm the entire time. And I think he respected that about me and ended up like hiring me as like a recruiter for his proprietary trading firm. I negotiated that deal too, but anyway, I don't want to get off topic. I worked at Lamborghini Bentley Gold Coast in Chicago. Like that was a huge like learning curve. I met a lot of really good people. The owner of that store, Joe Boss, like he taught me a lot. One of the parting conversations that I had with him was like, he was like, what did you learn from being here? And I was like, I mean, I learned a lot. Like, what do you mean? He's like, what did you really learn? And I kind of gave him some answer, but he came back and was like, the most important thing is not the car. It's the relationship. Like, so you see me talking to these people. I don't know shit about these cars. Like he does know shit about it.
Yeah.
He was just saying like trying to impress upon me that like, it's not about the cars, bro.
100%.
It's not about the cars. And it's like up until that point, I was just so gung-ho about the cars and like making money. But dude, after that was like the turning point for me in my career. I started thinking about things like, dude, I have an opportunity to build a network and relationships with people that have reached a certain level of success. And I have an opportunity to build trust with them and loyalty with them through a car deal, something that I'm passionate about and something that they're passionate about and have worked so hard to get to that point to be able to afford those. But anyways,
And this is actually funny too, because like you said, like 4 or 5 different dealerships right now, like Suzuki, Audi, Bentley.
yeah.
Uh,
No. Lamborghini, Royce was like the same.
okay.
Bentley Gold.
Real quick, this is important.
Yes.
Lamborghini. Where else?
So Lamborghini was like that one store.
What was the first place you started working at? Gwinnett, right?
Gwinnett Suzuki.
Then,
Should I say the name? ALM.
okay. Then,
Eurocar Orange County.
then,
Audi.
then.
Chicago. Then there's another dealership called Greater Chicago Motor Cars.
Okay. 5.
Bentley Gold Coast. My buddy was starting up a dealership, Jed Motors, and then Napleton Porsche.
Okay. 8.
That's
7. That's 7. 7. 7.
That was it. And then Audi here in Atlanta.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey,
Bro, let me tell y'all something.
listen. Okay. Listen. This is the reason why this is why I'm saying let's count it out, because like, first, for no one that doesn't know anything about the car business, it's 100% commission. Okay.
Right.
So if you don't sell cars, you don't make money. Okay. When you first start, you get like a 3-month guarantee, maybe like, $2,000 a month, $3,000 a month, or something like that. Every deal is like
3 months.
2-3 months,
Like training
pay, get on your
runway.
Don't worry about selling cars. Learn about the product, take a few clients here and there. And then once by the time you're training,
That's really only at new car stores. You're not getting that at used car.
we don't know. You never know. You might get a nice draw. A draw,
Potentially.
You might get a draw. Okay. A small draw. Okay. So the reason why I was adding them up, I don't want to put you on the spot or anything, and I'll say how many I worked at. No, it's been multiple places, but the thing is, you can't put yourself down because the first dealership didn't work, right? You have to try different dealerships before you find the one that you like. I mean, it's just, you have no incentive to be there outside of this place is providing you a place of income. You like the people that work there, and then also you're learning something from the people that you work with as well. So you may have to go to a lot of different dealerships before you find the one you want to work at.
Yeah.
It's just the way it just is what it is.
Yeah.
So, anybody, if you go to your first dealership and you're discouraged about it, just keep trying. I've had a lot of great experience with being in luxury sales. I mean, I'm pretty sure you can agree that luxury has always been like the creme de la creme of like car business. Unless you're at like a fire used car lot, that's like not really like a lot, but kind of like we specialize in like high end stuff, and it's like 3 or 4 sales guys, and we're all making money. That's like a big gap.
All right, bro. Let me kind of spit some game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Number one, it depends where you live.
Selling cars?
So depending on what kind of cars you desire to sell.
Correct.
Bro, think and grow rich, right? The very first step is desire. What do you desire to do, right? So it's like, what kind of cars do you want to sell? So
yeah, but the average person is not going to like, okay,
no. I know. But what I'm saying is that you have to have desire to sell a particular car. Like, I'll tell you this. When that guy asked me, like, do you want to sell Hondas?
Mm-hmm.
The real reason why I said no is because, dude, me personally, I'm not going to be passionate about selling Hondas.
Okay.
And when you're in sales, I feel like you need to be excited about what you're selling.
I disagree with that.
There's like both sides of it.
Yeah.
I think what works for me is like, I got to be excited about it.
Yeah.
And I just like attracted a lot more opportunities that way because I was excited about it, and my clients saw that, and my like people that hired me saw that, right? But long story short, man, it's like, so you need to find like the most I feel like you got to find the most reputable dealer that's close to you.
Correct.
Like if I had to do it again,
family owned, has to be family owned.
Family owned.
Family 100%.
You go to some of these like bigger guys, you're just gonna get a bad taste in your mouth.
Family owned. Even if you make a little bit less, which you shouldn't, if you make a little bit less, take the job. 100%.
Take the job. Oh, another dealership I forgot was a Porsche dealership here in Atlanta. Remember when
Oh yeah.
Like,
so let's push it. That's 9. That's 10.
No, I thought 9.
I was at I was at 8, and then the other 2 was 10 or 9, something like what.
8 or 9.
Yeah.
You can't keep count.
Can't keep count.
But yeah, man, after I left Audi, bro, I was like, dude, if I could start over again, taking the advice that I got from the guy at Eurocar, he said, go start at a franchise store. You'll get some structure. You'll be able to learn, right? I mean, dude, all those dealerships that I went to, like I got a lot of experience, but where I actually excelled was at both Audi stores.
And that was kind of like, those other stores kind of almost prepare you for the luxury. You're like more appreciative when you start selling like a high end.
Oh, dude, 100%. Like when we were at Audi, you know this, a lot of the guys, they were like first-time car salespeople, right?
We're at Audi?
Yeah. People that have never sold cars before.
What, when you left?
No, while we were there.
Oh.
Even when I left.
Yeah, you have a mixture, yeah. But you have like people that are like lit, no, they're like super lit.
No. The point that I'm making is that like at that Audi dealership, they were like people that had never sold cars before were given opportunity to sell cars.
Okay.
My point in saying that is like, dude, all of those dealers, those 10, 100 dealerships I worked at, right? That taught me so much to be so appreciative of the way that the Audi dealers
100%.
And that was, bro, because some of the people that were selling cars there, they were like new to the car business and they were talking shit about the dealer. They hated on it. They were negative. I'd be like, dude, you guys have no idea like what you got here. And that's why I think that, dude, I brought this up to you before, bro. Gratitude. When you start with gratitude, man, like that, like when you're grateful when you have that gratitude, like you just become so much more happier. And I organically had that gratitude because I've been through the trenches at dealership.
Right.
Like even that Porsche dealership that I sold at in Chicago, the reason why I left was like I would sell cars at the asking price and they would only pay me $250. And then another guy showed me a check where he sold 10 cars and like 9 of his deals were $250 and there was one that was like $350 and he had been there longer than me. And I was like, bro, this is dead. So don't get that, like, you know, so the one thing about Audi was that it was a Magna deal.
Correct.
If you happen to live close by a Magna dealership.
You think that status, you think for the consumer though?
What?
Like the Magna,
a consumer award?
Or like, do you think the consumers knew that we're a Magna store? You think that made a difference?
No. I'm saying your experience as a salesman.
Okay.
Like the experience that you would have at a Magna store, you would get a lot from that.
Okay.
Like if you go to a dealership that
has a status,
a Magna award status, there's a reason why they got that. There's a reason why
loves it.
There's a reason why Audi got
100%.
It's a dealership award.
Correct.
Like meaning like operationally,
sales, service, everything,
all that, right? So that's what I thought about. I was like, dude, if I could go back, I would have researched like Magna dealer, top Magna,
top awarded dealers, yeah, consistently.
Dude, honestly, bro, if you don't even live close to a Magna dealer and you really want to get in the car business, I would say find the closest one to you or wherever you're comfortable with. Dude, another thing is if you move out of your hometown, that's huge. Growth-wise. Moving out of your hometown
100%
is huge.
100%.
You literally get to start from scratch. Nobody knows you.
100%.
Nobody knows the flaws that you went through.
100%.
So if you have an opportunity and you have some money saved up, you want to get in the car business, make $10, $15, $20, $25,000 a month.
100%.
Go move to like a Magna dealer that's closest to you for a brand that you'd be excited to sell.
Maybe 2 hours away, 3 hours away.
If I could put that in a bow and like deliver that to you as like, this is what you got to do to start in the car business, that's what I would say. Move to the closest Magna awarded dealer for a brand that you...
A brand. Now, Magna's only to Audi. I don't know what it is.
Is it only Audi? I thought it'd be...
Yeah, it's only Audi.
BMW.
I don't know what the Mercedes one is called or like the BMW one is called. I don't know.
Yeah,
Also, it has to be like an M store or an AMG store
yeah.
or an RS store.
Now, see, that's what I get excited about, like an Audi Sport dealer, or like an M certified BMW dealer, or AMG certified Mercedes dealer.
Right, right. And the reason why it's important is because it's not that you're going to say, hey, I'm going to sell all M cars, all AMG cars. It's going to give you the opportunity to sell those cars,
Right.
rather than have to trade for them or never see those cars come through your dealership at all.
Yeah, 100%. And I think so. Audi is a really good gateway drug into the car business. Let me tell you why.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need to have like a huge book of business to get started.
Correct.
You start stepping into, like, I don't know about BMW because I never sold at BMW, but I'll tell you, like, what I learned from Porsche is you're going to eat shit for 2 years at a Porsche
3.
store. No.
Well, for
Where is it? 3.
typical lease, 2.5 to 3 years is
Right.
typical lease.
But
That's when you start seeing those clients come.
But when you get to Porsche, you have guys that want to change their cars every 6 months to a year.
Yeah, but how many guys is that
A
though?
lot.
No, it's
Bro, I promise you.
No.
It depends in your market. In Atlanta, not so much.
Mhm.
When you go to places like California or Miami, that happens a lot more. I'm telling you, bro.
okay.
And it just depends on your market.
Mm-hmm.
So, but you go out to California, there's like 10 different Porsche dealerships
Correct.
someone can go to.
Correct.
So you got to think about all those things. Now, when you start stepping into Mercedes,
I think Mercedes and Porsche is like clientele.
yeah, but when you start stepping into Mercedes, you kind of have that you kind of have that gap too of like 1 to 2 years, and
Yeah, you need about
seeing the real.
100%.
You need to be able to eat shit for like a year or two,
100%.
a year and a half or two,
And-
before you start seeing the real.
And that trainer that I was talking about at the very, very beginning, the guy that I was working with under Chevy, who was like a mentor of mine, my first franchise dealership that I worked at, he always told me, and I would never forget this: half your business is from the store, the other half is from your own book of business.
Right.
Period.
Right.
So if you sell 10 cars from the dealership, you're not hitting your goals because you're not making the extra effort to network,
Exactly.
pass out cards. So, bro, like, and then
The deals from the dealership are gravy.
yeah, I mean, they're gravy, exactly.
They're gravy. The real work is like,
You actually making the initiative.
yeah,
Like,
real
bro,
work.
at my apartment complex, me and my now wife at the time, we went through the parking deck and put business cards on the visors of all the cars on the parking deck.
That's dope.
I got one client out of that who did like 10 deals with me. Turns out he was like a guy, like a financial guy, and he sent me all his clients. He would come to the dealership. Hey, I got another one for you. Hey, I got another one for you. Oh, hey, I'm ready to get an S8. Oh, hey, I'm ready to get
For an Audi, right?
100%
You give your Audi business card.
to every single car in the parking
Parking
lot.
lot.
And the one fault, well, I actually sold 2 deals out of that. One deal was the guy that brought me all those clients,
All those.
and the other one was the guy that was like, hey, I got an A4. I want to get an A5 coupe from you.
Boom.
Boom.
Yeah.
Took me 30 minutes, maybe 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And some business cards that the dealership paid for. And I got, I would say, probably 10 deals out of that.
Damn.
Crazy.
That's what happens, bro. You meet that one person that puts you on to like 10, 15, 20 people.
100%.
Like, it's crazy.
100%. And that's why they also say if the dealership is closed on Sunday, go by or Saturday night before you leave or on Sunday, pop some business cards on the cars up front. You'll probably get a phone call.
Yeah.
Because people are always looking for cars. They're driving by, and they're probably driving by on a Sunday because they know you're closed and they don't want to talk.
They don't want to be bothered.
They won't want to be bothered.
Yeah.
So they may stop by and be like, okay, hey, let me just keep his card and give him a call
Yeah. Yeah.
when I'm ready to buy.
So wait, how did you go from those dealerships in California and stuff to Audi?
Well, the dealerships I was in Cleveland. So I went to California for a second.
Okay.
I didn't start at that Toyota job. I moved back to Cleveland, stayed there for a while, not in the car business at all. Was doing like, I actually went back to school for a little while. And then I moved to Atlanta to be with my sister.
You dropped out of college, right?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. I'm halfway done, but I dropped out. Stupid.
Dude,
It's so stupid.
dude, I dropped out.
4.0 dropout. Isn't that crazy? 4.0 dropout. 4.0.
Bro, my shit was like 2.8.
Honor Society and fucking everything. I dropped that the shirt in my closet. Like, what am I ever gonna do?
I dropped out of college twice.
I dropped out twice too, but like I didn't finish.
And the first time I did about 2 semesters. Second time I did like 1.
Okay.
I was like, dude,
No, I did a full year, and I did 2 semesters at a community college. So 2 years.
all right. So you moved back to Ohio.
Moved back to Ohio. Went back to school. Was working at like a restaurant, being like a host or something like that, making no money.
Okay.
And then I was like, that's how I started working at, eventually going to Toyota, getting back in the car business, going to Toyota.
Okay.
And then I ended up moving to Atlanta to be close to my sister. So I transferred from that Toyota store there to Atlanta Toyota here. So it's a Penske store. So I
Transfer, so easy transfer.
easy transfer. So similar story like you. I was selling cars. I'm like, man, I want to get into real estate. So I ended up going online, looking at how to get into real estate.
I've always wanted to get into real estate too. And my mindset was like, okay, if I go to somewhere like Audi, I can build a book of business that way, because the turnover rate of people that are buying and selling cars and like ending up in front of your desk and leaving is so high.
Right.
And I have an opportunity to build relationship and trust with them that maybe
Right.
over time I build this book of business and I can sell them real estate.
Right. And that also never works too.
Never works.
It never works.
Never.
You can't sell cars and sell houses at the same time.
That person that's buying a car from you is like, dude, you're my car.
Correct.
Like, you're not my house guy.
You're not the house guy.
Like,
No.
don't be a jack of all trades.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. And house is a little more personable. Like, hey, I'm letting you in. It's where I'm going to be living. Anyways, so I ended up leaving Toyota to go work at ProMove, which is an apartment location.
Dude, I one of my buddies used to work there, and I was like,
Bro, but it was like, when I first started working out, I thought that was like the dopest job ever.
they're making money.
They are making money.
Like back then, they were making like 10, 15 grand a month.
Bro, and it was like, they were like, hey, here's like some gift bags. You go around to all the apartment communities, introduce yourself. They like show you the place. They sell you on the place.
Dude, that's what I did in Chicago.
That's why that way when you go back and you're getting all these phone calls and these people are coming in, first of all, that's a dope ass concept. So, okay, if you're just moving to, let's say if you're moving to Atlanta, right? This is not a paid ad for ProMove, right? They've closed to 2 shops, whatever. If you're moving to Atlanta, I can invite you in. I can have a computer set up, or I can have like a monitor set up just like this. And then behind me, it'll be like a map of Atlanta.
Yeah.
So I can say like, hey, we're here.
My buddy used to work.
Where's your job?
Like,
where's this? Okay, you're only 10 minutes away from here, 10 minutes there. Okay, in this area, these are the dopest buildings to check out based on your price range.
Right.
It's actually pretty fire. And you don't have to leave and show them. You just got like a referral fee.
Yeah.
So I did ProMove for a little while, and then I was getting tired of that. Got back into Toyota. Okay. And this Toyota,
the Penske Toyota here.
No, I went to another dealership.
Okay.
Another Toyota dealership here. Okay. Bro, when I tell you that was the craziest experience ever.
At the Toyota dealership?
Yes.
Why?
Because the sales manager would come into the office and be yelling at us, bro. Why aren't you guys picking up the phone? What the are you guys doing? You guys are fucking terrible. You guys are
that gives you that rhino skin, bro.
Bro, I'm like,
what you need in cars.
And I'm just like, yes, sir. But the thing is like, if you can put up with that and then also make a statement, like, I'll give you a quick story, right? So the same guy always yelling at us about internet leads and phone calls and how trash and garbage we are, how like pieces of shit we are. I had a client that came in. She was looking at a Toyota Sequoia, and he was giving me some numbers on it. I'm like, hey, she wants numbers on his car. Let's give her some numbers. So he prints out the worksheet, and it's like $5,000 off. And I'm like, bro, what are you doing? He's like, bro, you're not going to sell this car a sticker. I said, put their sales price up to MSRP.
You did this. You said that.
I sold this to the sales manager at the time.
Oh, got it.
Put the price back up to MSRP. Let me go out there and see what I can do.
Okay.
He was like, bro, no way. So I went out there, bro, and I presented the numbers. Here's the make sure your name and address is correct. Here's the selling price of the vehicle. Tax and fees are here. This is your out the door. Are you doing cash or are cash or financing? We're gonna do cash. All right, perfect. Just need you to sign right here. She signed. I went back down. Lay down.
That's what you call a lay down.
Lay down.
Signs the first.
But here's the thing. I look like a genius when I come back because they were getting ready to give me away.
They trusted you after that.
100%.
They were like, okay, 100%. When this kid says like,
correct.
Hey, do this number, da da da.
Correct.
Then we need to know that he's got it in the back.
Correct.
He's gonna work it.
So closed that deal. Sold cars there for a while, and I actually made good money. Like that was probably like the first time I actually made over 10 grand a month at that place.
Nice.
So again, putting out some resumes. I want to get out of there. Tired of getting yelled at. And my GM at the time at Audi, he called me and talked to me for like 45 minutes. I was outside of a bowling alley.
Wait, for the GM of Audi?
Yeah. So I put my resume out there, and then
He called you.
well, Erica called first.
Okay.
Erica called first. Said, "Hey, I saw you on I saw you on YouTube. You know, saw you have great initiative. You look like you're excited about whatever you're looking at."
Wait, she reached out to you, or you put your resume in and then she reached out?
Yeah, correct.
Saw
Correct.
and stuff. Okay.
The reason why she called me out of all the
Was
applicants,
that the same YouTube channel with like the house?
correct. That's why she called me.
Oh, but this was the only person that I thought you were saying someone at Toyota did that too.
No, I quit there.
No, I'm saying someone. So was Erica the only one that saw your YouTube video and was like, "I like your enthusiasm"?
Correct.
Okay.
So I put let me back up. So I put my resume in
Yeah.
to Audi.
No, I got it.
Okay, you got it? Okay,
Yeah.
all right, perfect. So she said the reason why she called me
like
is because she searched my name and then found my YouTube channel.
Okay.
So it's a 15-minute introduction phone call,
Okay.
and then followed by a 45-minute conversation with such and such.
Right.
So,
Such and such.
so political.
All right.
We're politically correct right now. So we're politically correct.
Yeah, a little.
So, which led to an interview, which led to 5 years of greatness.
Yeah. There's some good times at Audi, man. I like, it makes me so sad. Like, I mean, not sad. It's just like, they were just such, dude, that was the best experience I've ever had at a dealership, bro.
100%.
And I mean, like we did go through the situation that happened over, 2020, 21 across the globe.
Yeah.
Right. And that contributed. I think, dude, I was never the guy that like, okay, the dealership says here's a 10 car minimum you have to hit every month. Like some of the guys that we sold cars with, bro, they would be like, oh, I got my 10 and I'm good. I'm out the gas. Bro, I'm pushing 15, 20, 22, 23.
Was 10 cars at minimum? I can't remember what
At that time, it was like 8 and 10, like stuff like that, right? But I had my foot on the gas, bro. Like I think
you pissed everybody off, bro.
I pissed everybody off. Some people quit because
you pissed everybody off.
I was the guy that like kept his thumb on the phone,
Pissed everybody off,
which was taught to me by Alan and stuff, and like had guys complaining to the GM that I was doing that, but like
I loved it, bro. I loved it.
You were in the internet department on the floor, so the floor guys like did phone calls, and walk-ins, calls and walk-ins. These guys were just strictly internet leads.
Mm-hmm.
I think I can confidently say while I was there, I was the second most Audi sport guy, other than our boy who had been there for 10 years and he was like an Audi sport ambassador.
Mm-hmm.
But man, it was just so much fun. Like, oh, another thing, when you go to new car dealerships, like if you're lucky, they'll give you crazy discounts on cars.
That's true.
Like the new cars. So like when we were
that might be some secret sauce.
But it's like a little cherry on top, like that's if it gets you excited to work for a dealership. Dude,
you get the drop.
Bro, let me tell you something, dude. When the very first car I bought at Audi was that S5 Sport.
Okay,
black on red interior, loaded, right? Not Prestige, but Premium Plus.
Okay.
Almost every.
Trying to figure out if I remember that car. All right, okay.
Black on, it was the very first car I had.
Okay.
Bro, the feeling that I had, it was sitting in the showroom. I had just gotten back from Miami on a vacation.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I remember.
I was sitting on the showroom. I was like, Jerry, like, dude, let's do this deal.
I remember that
car.
I remember that.
And dude, I felt so proud of myself at that moment.
Yeah.
Like it was the most, like, one of the most proud moments that I had, because I bought the car myself. Like, I worked to deserve it. Like, it was just so dope. And it was in the showroom too, so I got to roll it out of the showroom myself, like the way we would on test drives. That was the crazy experience. But dude, like, I mean, dude, some of the cars I had, like RS5 Sportback, Nardo Gray, like RS7, Corvette Z06, like those were some good times.
And then I think I counted. I don't know if you guys saw on Instagram. I don't know if you saw on Instagram where everyone was doing like, how many cars have you had? what's your favorite car? What's your dream? What would be your dream car? And then like, what was your least favorite car you had? I've had 15 cars, bro.
Yeah, that's the best. That's some of the best parts.
And most of them were like Audis, Raptors, like nice shit.
Yeah, man. If you work at a new car dealership, sometimes they give the employees like a nice little discount.
Yeah.
But dude, I think one of the biggest things about that was so sick about Audi at that time, and everyone that worked with us at that time while we were there,
Everyone was making good money. Everyone was happy.
everyone was making good money. Everyone was happy. But the reason why, bro, is because the culture.
That's another thing too. And the people were cultured as well. They were like,
Cultured as well.
Yeah.
Like we were all like young. We were like happy, dude. Like we would be busy, and we would all put on like our work hard hat. Like let's all focus. Let's get our shit done. Let's make this money. But when it was slow, like we would all just be. It was like family. Like the managers were like older brothers to me, and like guys like you, like we would just bullshit and like joke around, like fuck around, like when it was slow, right? And like that like I think culture, like in employee like mood, morale,
especially in the car business, it's everything. And because you put so many hours in, you have to like the people that you work with.
You have to.
Because you interact with them too much.
Yeah.
Especially when you just had like a shitty client, like someone's gonna come by and make a joke to you. You're gonna be like, all right, okay, I can't be in the fucked up mood. Let me go get the next client.
And dude, by that point, like I've had so many shitty clients, like I would have a shitty client and it just didn't really matter. Like, cause you build that rhino skin. And that's kind of what I was talking about. Like when you go to used car dealership, like don't get freaking soft. Like if you can't last through that shit, you're not going to last in the car business.
Nah.
That's the truth.
That's going to make you hate the car business.
Yeah. That was like the biggest key takeaway, right? I was able to succeed at that dealership because I'll tell you the real reason why I was able to succeed at that dealership. And anybody that owns a dealership, anybody that's a manager at a dealership, you want to take note of this. Dude, priority number one being the culture, like we just talked about, right? Like you need to have a happy, fun culture. Don't be that dickhead manager that like I feel hesitation coming to about questions or like,
correct.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like in the car business, dude, is so archaic and there's so many old heads in the dealership. That's what pisses me off. Is like, I've been to so many different dealerships and I just wanted to like, I was so excited to work at like that Porsche store in Chicago. So excited to work there. But dude, on the weekends, the managers would just be like in their office, like, it was almost like they're laughing about all this money that they're making and they have these little rats like outside selling cars, you know? That's the vibe that I got. And dude, you're never going to be a successful dealership if you have that.
Nah. You're going to have this revolving door.
If you have that mentality that you got this like revolving door of salesmen, then and you're acting like that, you're going to have a revolving door of salesmen.
And I think your belief that, hey, they just come and go, it is what it is, it's the car business, is a bad mentality to have. You should actually people and want to make them happy.
Boom.
You should want them to be successful. You should want them driving your product. You should want them making money.
Exactly, bro. You should want them making money. You should want them being happy. And dude, I'm entrepreneurial too. I get it from a business perspective that like at some point, maybe you are paying your salesman like a little bit too much. But the second, go ahead.
Well, I was going to right there on that point too, is like, if you are paying your salespeople too much, like this is why the store we worked at was so great, right? Because like, hey, we paid you guys a little bit too much money here. We got to shave this a little bit here for this year, and then we got to scale back a little bit. So we always got a new pay plan every year, which we made more, made less, made more, made less. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's so cool.
Exactly, but we didn't mind a small pay cut because like everything else was great.
Yeah.
So it was almost like, hey, if we're having a great year, you guys are going to have a great year. If our year is kind of like we need to taper it off because we're like buying another dealership or we just got to taper it off for some other reason, then hey, we got to shave a little bit. And you won't mind getting a small pay cut as long as everything else is good.
And you know what's tricky about navigating the income of sales is like you look at your friends that have like more corporate jobs, they have like a steady income, they're making XYZ amount every single month. When you're doing really, really good in the car business, don't get all excited and go buy a bunch of shit and spend all your money.
No.
Like, because there's gonna be a low.
Always
When you get into the car business, you need to consider an average of what you're gonna make over a year. You need to always be thinking a year out.
Yeah, I don't think so.
That you need to like. What do you mean?
I think like 1 month of savings is good. You want to keep that hunger inside of you.
No, for sure. I'm not saying like take away the hunger. I'm just saying like in terms of like managing your finances a little bit, taking into consideration the entire year.
No,
and know your slow months, know your busy months, and don't get too crazy. Like if you don't get too crazy when you're making a ton of money when it's busy season, you're not gonna be as stressed out when it gets slow. That's all I'm
right.
Like kind of average it out. But anyways, the second thing is that after I was working there for like a month or two, and I did the math on the commissions that I was supposed to make, and I saw that their accounting department was on point, and I didn't have to.
Oh my God!
No, I didn't have to look over my shoulder. And if it was they paid what I was made, what I earned,
right?
I took off, bro.
Right. And if it was a mistake, oh, okay, all right.
Oh, no worries. Here you go. But
We'll catch the shot. Come pick it up tomorrow at 4 p.m.
Yeah.
Okay.
If there was a mistake, and dude, like after that, I took off. That little like cubicle or whatever you want to call it with my desk and my monitor was my business location.
That's another thing. That's a whole nother podcast, all right?
Yeah.
About like treating the car business like if you want to start a business or be an entrepreneur, you can do it at the car business.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about it. You have to worry about paying for your own inventory. You don't have to pay for any utilities.
Yeah.
All you do is bring yourself and your contact list.
Exactly.
And you're in business.
Yeah. And I mean, even if you don't have a contact list, like you generate your book of business from like the leads that you're getting.
Eating shit for 3 years.
Eating shit for a couple years, 2-3 years. Like that's how you're going to get it. And dude, like, and now I look at it from like a dealership level. The most successful people in the industry, whether you're a car salesman or whether you own a dealership, are the people that are so social media focused and driven. Like you said, like it's your own business,
correct?
Right? Like
correct.
Porsche Samuel,
yes.
Samuel and Beverly,
yes,
right?
Wires only,
Prestige Import.
The guy I just followed him. You follow him too. I think he's in New Jersey.
Oh,
George.
JNS Autos.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Booming on TikTok.
Yes. Yes.
There's so many Porsche dealerships. There's so many Porsche salesmen. That dude just sold like 28 or 32 cars last month.
Did he for real?
Yeah.
Shit, he probably made some fucking money.
You know how you and your wife went and put business cards on every car at in the parking garage? Imagine doing that at scale on social media. Imagine how many people, you know how you said you met that one person that brought you 10, 15 deals?
Right.
Imagine how blowing up on social media can bring you 5 of those guys, 10 of those guys.
And he doesn't even show his face either.
He does.
Oh, he does?
A little bit.
Well, not like
Samuel.
From what I remember when I followed him is like the car got delivered. He did a walk around, interior, window sticker, post.
He does those videos too. And he does a lot of videos with
him driving
cars coming off the delivery truck.
Yeah.
That. No, but he gets in the cars and like he does like delivery videos.
Oh, he does?
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. He's upgrading now.
Yeah. And so yeah, it's just like, I mean, I know of a dealership in Chicago. They are like their content on social media was like top tier, and they're the most successful Audi dealership in Chicago. Like,
now let me ask you a question about content. Does the content have to be like the stuff that you're posting, like on Exotic Auto Trade, like reels of cars, or does it need to be more personable or more like it doesn't look polished? It just looks like, hey, the car's arriving. We're excited to see it.
No, you. At the end of the day, it's personal brand.
Okay.
In my opinion. Okay. And if you look at every single one of those scenarios, so almost all of those scenarios that I just talked about, you didn't name the name of the dealership. You said that guy in New Jersey, and I said George. You didn't say JNS Auto House.
True. I didn't even know the name of the store.
Yeah. When we brought up a successful guy in Beverly Hills at Porsche.
Mm-hmm.
We just said his name,
Yeah.
right? You look at Prestige,
I know who he was too. I mean, he's been around
and you know who he was.
almost 5 years.
You look at Prestige Imports Lamborghini in Miami.
Oh yeah,
Who's the guy that runs it?
Brent David. Why do I even know him?
Exactly. He, like, his brand, that personal brand, having a face, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what gets the deals. I can go and post. So Exotic Auto Trade so far has been just like basically just cars, mainly because like I don't have someone there that's shooting with me. I'm like shooting the content myself.
Right.
So if I had someone like rolling with me, I would prefer that. And there's like a video or two where I put myself in the video now, but like that's what it's all about. Like you can't just be, if you really want to grow on social media, you can't just post cars. I can go on Google and type in an image of a car and like look up that car. But like you're not going to build a connection unless you have like the face of that brand.
You have to have a face.
That's why we're getting on a podcast.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. 100%.
Like that's the whole point, is you have to show your face.
Mm-hmm. Great.
But yeah, it's been a crazy road.
That led us up to here.
We've done like different businesses or tried other business.
Bro, we never talked about you hitting me up when I was trying to sell my RS5s.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I was
You were trying to start this, what you're doing now.
I was trying to start what I'm doing now, which Exotic Auto Trade. So for anybody that's watching, if you hung out this long, Exotic Auto Trade is basically a high-end or luxury and exotic car brand that specializes on consigning vehicles. We essentially manage the entire process for you. So I'm in some talks with some of my investors to open up some facilities where we're going to be taking the content at and stuff like that. And we're going to essentially consign cars for our clients. We're going to be specializing in, luxury and exotic vehicles. So anything that's like BMW M and up, Mercedes AMG and up, like I'll still do some 550s with the AMG package and stuff like that, Range Rovers, all that and up, right? So we take high quality photos. We can get the car detailed. We're essentially going to treat your car like it's a dealership inventory.
Okay.
Right. And we're going to manage the entire sales process. So we're going to like get that car detailed, get it waxed up. If there's rim scuffs and stuff like that, we're going to take care of that.
Okay.
Like these cars are going to be in the wrapper before we even take.
Wait, so do I get to keep my car or do I
get to keep your car?
Yeah. What?
Well, for now you get to keep your car.
Okay.
Right. But you're going to be like in an agreement with us that when we need to get your car
for sure
to show it,
okay,
then we need to come get your car and you have to give it to us.
Okay.
That's like the biggest hurdle when it comes to consigning cars.
Okay.
And then not keeping it at one location.
Okay.
So once we do open up our warehouse, we'll give you an opportunity to store your car there if it's more convenient. But we also want our clients to be able to, like, it would be ideal if like they don't drive the car as much while we're trying to sell it,
miles on it,
put miles on it, but we're not going to be like upset like if you go take it for a weekend or whatever.
What if I wanted to buy a car? Can I do a trade-in and get my tax credit?
So we will have like a dealership license in the back. So with Exotic Auto Trade, based on a lot of the things that we've been talking about, right?
Mm-hmm.
Culture, brand, marketing. Ryan Serhant says this best.
Mm-hmm.
He says, not always be closing, always be branding. Because if you brand yourself and you have the credibility behind your brand,
right,
and you're putting yourself out there, which he's one of the biggest like social media marketers, real estate, most followed, right? When you have that credibility, people already trust you before they even talk to you. Right. So that's the whole MO with Exotic Auto Trade is like marketing and branding first. Right. Reputation first. Car dealership second. We're gonna have that in the background to be able to facilitate trade-ins and tax credits and stuff if your state qualifies for that. But it's just gonna be a huge like the goal is a huge like marketing play.
Okay. How much is it gonna cost? How much does it cost me
to let us sell one of your cars?
Yeah.
It depends on the price of your car. But
so it's a percentage.
Yeah, the percentage of your the price of the car.
What's the percentage?
So anywhere between like 5 to 7% based on your car. Obviously, if the price of your
And that includes everything. That includes you taking care of the room stuff. If I have some dents in my car, you're going to take care of everything. Photos,
like paintless dent removal, not like an actual big ass dent.
Okay.
But yeah, photos, us managing the entire process, right? Like yeah, 5 to 7, like higher percentage probably on the cars that are lower price a little bit. But like I said, we would just be more towards like AMG cars, M cars, RS, Audi sport cars and up.
Okay.
That's the goal. And I'm down to do like classic exotics too, like classic Ferraris, classic Porsches, classic Lamborghinis, like Countach,
Yeah.
Diablo, like stuff like that. So I wouldn't say no to those cars either. When we get into the American brands, like I'm open to like Ford GTs, Z06s, ZR1s, like stuff like that. Vipers, like ACR Vipers, stuff like that. But we're not going to really, I'm trying to niche this down. And it's going to lead to other things, which I don't want to talk about right now. But the goal is to scale very quickly by going this route. So, yeah.
So what's up?
And one of the biggest things that motivated me to do this.
What?
So back to the whole reason why we went on this tangent is because you were like, we got to talk to them about how you cold called me while I was at Audi.
Yeah.
So this guy was driving an Audi RS5 while he was at Audi, right? And before I started working at Audi, I was literally cold calling people on Auto Trader to see if they'd be down to let me consign their car. At that time, I named my company Siddiqui Motors.
No, is it Enterprise or Motors? Motors. Okay.
Well, that's like
that's the company. Okay.
Yeah, but Siddiqui Motors was like a segment of that, right? So I was like cold calling people, and this guy was like one of the guys that I cold called. I was like, "Yo, you'd be down to let me sell you."
Before we even started working it out.
Before I even started working it out, crazy. And we actually put 2 and 2 together after I started working there. Maybe
no, it was longer than that.
It was like way later.
Way later than that.
Yeah,
way later than that.
Yeah,
I don't even know how I found that out. I think I was going through my email or something. How do I find out?
Because I think you just put 2 and 2 together. Like, wait a second, Siddiqui,
I think,
and like Siddiqui Motors,
yeah.
So yeah, that was that.
And I probably could have used you because I was taking pictures of an RS5 in a parking lot of fucking Perimeter Mall.
Yeah. My like I don't know if you guys were paying attention to the TV. Those are all photos that I shot myself. So like I don't play around when it comes to photos.
Yeah, you're fire.
Yeah, so I just understand the value of it. Like I want to showcase a car like a piece of candy. And even with Exotic Auto Trade, when we start opening up like our photo booths and stuff like that, that's where I want all the money to go to. Like marketing, brand, online presence, offline presence, being in as many like car shows as we can, like being in some of the hottest spots as we can, like just so we just have that edge no matter where we're at. But wait, what are you doing next?
I don't know, bro. I don't know. Well, what I think I'm going to do is I want to do a sales training for car sales professionals. So what I'm thinking is a lot of car salespeople, they, hate the way the dealership is ran with no training, no opportunities to learn more about process. And a lot of it is process when it comes to car sales. You have to know how to, they call it road to the sale, right? Set up for this. They call it road to the sale. So it starts off when you have the meet and greet and goes all the way to the delivery of the vehicle, right? So making sure the customer's excited once you come in. Hey, welcome to ABC Motors. My name is DeAndre. I'm so glad that you're here. What brings you in today? Hey, I'm looking for a pre-owned vehicle. Okay, great, awesome. Did you find that vehicle? Did you see that vehicle online? Yes, perfect. Follow me this way. And you walk them through the process, right? So a lot of it is process. A lot of reasons why a lot of salespeople are frustrated is because of the wrong process. So I want to train people on the process of selling vehicles and also following up and staying in contact with your clients to get those referral clients and referral business and start to grow your business. I'm an entrepreneur at heart, but if you have an entrepreneur heart as well and you want to kind of start your own business and kind of ease your way into that, the car business is perfect for it because you already have inventory, you have utilities paid,
Marketing is
You have marketing already paid. You already have a brand behind you that makes it easier for you to sell that product.
right,
Easier for you to sell an Audi.
right.
When you're going to sell a house, for example, the house is there, yes, but the client has to trust you as a professional to sell them that.
And even the agency that you're a part of.
An agency as well.
Like you look at companies like Compass, and once again, they're big on social media. They're big about,
but it's still,
brand and as a community
a brand new brand. So a lot of your legacy homeowners, they're not gonna really know what Compass is, hear about it. But if you're like getting KW, you've been with KW for a while, easier to make that.
Yeah, but I just feel like KW is just reminds me of like,
that's you though. But there's a trust factor for someone else.
Yeah.
It's like a baby boomer or something.
yeah,
There's a trust thing.
yeah,
So yeah, I'm thinking about. I want to do a sales training for sales professionals. I want to shine more light on the car business from a sales perspective.
okay,
How challenging it is to be in the car business, but also how rewarding it can be. How life changing it is. How it changed my life. Again, no college degree. No college degree, graduate high school, of course. But to have 15 cars and I make 6 figures since I was 21 years old is big.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
By being in the car business.
by being in the car business.
Yeah, and I mean, if you, so I think you're saying you want to start like a Discord type something.
Yeah.
Right.
So eventually, I'm going to be launching a Discord. It's going to be like a private group, and I'm going to need you for this too because it's going to be training, networking, of course, but also we're going to have off-market allocations. We're going to have a separate channel for that. So if you're looking for a 911 GT RS or some specialty vehicle, you're going to be able to say, hey, I have an allocation for one, or hey, I have a client that would consider selling if the right price came up. You'll be able to post that within that channel so people could actually find off-market inventory for their clients.
So maybe we could potentially separate the two, right? In the sense that like we have a separate Discord for like, let's say exotic auto trade for what you were just talking about, where like maybe you're an established salesperson and you want to tap into a network of other salespeople, and like I would lead the project, but essentially the goal is to connect with other salespeople or even like brokers and stuff like that, where hey, I got this car, I got that car, or I can get this allocation, that allocation,
right,
whatever, and then we're all part of this community,
correct,
and have like weekly live video calls and stuff like that through Discord and stuff. But then we create a separate segment where like, is that what you still want to do in terms of
that's exactly
like the training side,
exactly
of like new salespeople,
correct,
like
live
some stuff that we
live Q&A, coaching, also having other top professionals in the Discord to kind of interact while I'm not available, or just to kind of give a different perspective. Yeah, everyone has a different perspective, right?
Yeah.
So give a different perspective.
Is like live weekly training calls that you join at the same time. Say, just having like moderators, like maybe like me, that
correct,
like team leaders.
Correct.
100%. But yeah, it's just
it builds a community.
Yeah.
So it's easy to feel lost in the car business.
Yeah.
Feel like you're alone on an island. No one wants to help you.
Yeah.
No one wants to show you, how to sell a car. And also, they don't want to show you how to sell a car because it's been a long time since they've sold a car.
And not only that, and like they just don't want to take the time to like teach a new person everything that they know and stuff, which is something that we come into. Yeah, man. I mean, I think the car business is a very interesting industry. I think the global economy is like changing significantly in the sense that like, if you want to get into like the tech world and stuff like that, even in the tech world, like a lot of new tech companies, you don't have to have a degree.
Yeah.
Like a lot of them are waking up to that. And the fact that like, as long as you have the experience or the tenacity to kind of start from the ground up and go, you could do that. But if you like, even the idea of like college and school, I feel like a lot of people are kind of waking up to that of like, what am I doing?
100%.
Unless you want to be like a lawyer, a doctor, or an engineer,
something you need a license or a certificate for, then yeah, go for it.
Yeah, but like even like in the tech world, like you don't need to, like I was saying, you don't need a degree, and some instances will it help? Yeah, in the tech world, yeah. So like the car business poses a very interesting opportunity for people that are entrepreneurial, people that are actually like enjoy cars and like cars. I think that helps a lot. So it's just a matter of what are you trying to do with your life?
100%. Hey, man, I appreciate it. Put this guy on the spot. This guy is extremely talented. This guy is hungry. He's aggressive. This guy has to commit to making it successful. So whether you have me back or not, you need to follow through with this, man. You have to follow through. Make this work.
And likewise with this guy, man. I think like we connected early on when we first met at Audi, just because we were both pretty entrepreneurial, and that's why we are where we are now.
Mm-hmm.
And we got our backs up against the wall.
100%.
No other choice but to make
100%. But we got to hold each other accountable.
Yeah.
So when's the next podcast? Whether I'm on it or not. When's the next time
I got one lined up with the next guy, like after this pilot. Lined up next week, probably, whenever they're free. I got some other ideas too. So overall, like on this podcast, I want to interview people in the industry, but if my clients are open to be public, then I want to get them in on it and like talk about their life and how they reached the level of success. So if you want to stay tuned to like the type of clientele that I have, or
hit the subscribe button.
Hit the subscribe button. Like I'm gonna do the typical like YouTube shit and hit the alert.
Like, comment, subscribe,
hit the alerts to get notified, blah blah blah, whatever. But
Mila's chewing on a fucking movie. What is she chewing on?
Thanks for taking the Rock podcast. Share first of many.
Hey, you guys gonna look back on this and be like, oh, this guy's got 1 million followers, and it was this fucking guy with a master's belt on.
Very first YouTube video of many. So thanks for tuning in. If you guys have stayed in this long, follow us on Instagram and TikTok and YouTube. My personal one is ro.siddiqui, so SIDDIQI, but the brand is Exotic Auto Trade. So look us up on Instagram, TikTok.
Yeah, I'm at Teaching Sales. At Teaching Sales. That's it.
At Teaching Sales.
At Teaching.
All right. Sounds good.
Thanks, bro.
All right. We'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.